And we begin with a weather impact alert. We're talking about Santa Ana winds and fire danger, a stark contrast to 1 year ago when heavy rain flooded San Diego neighborhoods. We'll never forget that, right? Thanks for joining us here at 6 a.m. on this Wednesday, everybody. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Neda Irampour. So glad you're with us here. We do want to start with meteorologist Evan Irani for a look at the red flag warning. It is wild to think a year ago we had flooding.
Yeah.
Right.
Complete opposite
Also
now.
wild to think that it has been since April of last year that we had any significant rainfall.
We are due.
10th of an
Since
inch. We
April.
are long overdue. And we actually finally have some rain returning to the forecast. That's going to come by this upcoming weekend. In the meantime, though, today and tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, boy, those temperatures are warming up to a summer-like range out there. We have 70s and even 80s expected inland by this afternoon. We're building on the progress made each day. So as those Santa Anas continue, we tend to see each day getting warmer and warmer. And we see that here, 71 out along the coastline, 79 degrees inland. A colder start to the day out there, mostly 40s and 50s. 38, though, in El Cajon right now and 47 in Alpine. Coming up, we'll talk more about this red flag warning that's been extended through 8 p.m. on Thursday and what happens beyond that. Yeah, we'll be talking about that rain and some cooler temperatures by the weekend. Back to you.
This morning, evacuation orders are lifted for 3 fires across the county. The Friars Fire near Fashion Valley Mall burned about 15 acres yesterday afternoon, and it damaged 1 building.
Yeah, and then in North County, the Lilac Fire near Bonsall is now 50% contained. It burned about 85 acres. Some buildings were damaged there. Meantime, the Paula Fire burned about 17 acres, and that one is fully contained.
Right now, over 15,000 SDG&E customers still have their power shut off. Another 68,000 are at risk. SDG&E says it's to prevent more wildfires from starting in case equipment gets knocked down in the winds. These outages could last until at least Friday evening.
And due to the power outages, schools in the Mountain Empire Unified School District and Warner Unified School Districts will be closed today. Now today marks 1 year since floods devastated neighborhoods like South Crest and Mountain View.
Many homeowners are still picking up the pieces and trying to rebuild their lives. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live in Mountain View with what residents and the mayor are saying about all this. Regina?
Yeah, good morning, guys. And it's hard to imagine that it's been a year since we saw those historic floodwaters storm through communities like here in southeastern San Diego. I mentioned about the house right behind me. You can still see that it's still boarded up. There's other houses that are still in need of repairs, and we're still looking at dumpsters in these communities. They've placed dumpsters so people can actually still throw out some of the construction or debris that they're dealing with inside their homes. But take a look at some of the video that we captured throughout these months and in the past year. You can see how we've reported this very closely, seen houses become inundated by floodwaters. When those floodwaters rose out of the storm channel nearby and flooded homes here, residents were actually climbing onto their roof for safety. There was neighbors helping other neighbors. It's really an image hard to swallow. January 22nd is a day that many people in this community will never forget. And today is not only a reminder of part of what they lost, but also the resilience and the strength that they've kept throughout these months. Their frustration is still with local leaders. In fact, community leaders on Beta Street are part of a mass lawsuit filed back in May against the city of San Diego. They are seeking hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're claiming negligence in maintaining the stormwater channel. We were able to catch up with some of the families here in southeastern San Diego. Here's what they told us.
As a Katrina, people were on the rooftops yelling for help, waiting for help for hours, mud, and you see the levels of water, the devastation that occurred in the house. We lost the house.
And Mayor Todd Gloria put out a statement recently saying, quote, with climate change creating even more intense weather events, the city is working with the people of San Diego to be ready as possible for anything Mother Nature sends our way. So back out here, that lawsuit that I just mentioned, we do know that community leaders as well as community residents do have a court hearing next month, but they have not set a trial yet. A trial date just yet. We'll keep you guys updated with more information on that. But for now, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Regina, thank you so much. And now our floods 1 year later coverage continues. In our next half hour, we're going to check in with veterans still providing food for flood victims. And later today, we'll give you a detailed comparison of the immediate aftermath and what it all looks like now there. And we'll see if the infrastructure problems blamed for the flooding are being addressed. That's all coming up for you at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
Golf players from all over the world are here in San Diego this morning.
Yeah, the Farmers Insurance Open kicking off at Torrey Pines today. Love that there are people who are wide awake at this hour, too.
Not just us.
Not just us, yeah. CBS 8's Chris Bro joining us live now with a preview. I'm sure you're excited to cover this, Chris. Can you tell us all about it?
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Netta. And look, Torrey Pines doesn't get to this gem status without all of the hardworking individuals that, yes, are up so early in the morning, even when the Farmers is not in town here to keep this 36 holes of golf beauty going and going. So I want to bring in John Howard here, the Golf Operations Director with the City of San Diego, to talk about it. This is your guys' Super Bowl, right? Every year the Farmers is here in town, the PGA, the world's best golfers. Course is looking great. How do you think it's looking right now?
You know, I think it's doing really well. I mean, by far, this is one of the best years that we've had. We've had a great stretch of weather that's allowed our superintendents to do an amazing job. We've got rave reviews from the PGA Tour staff, so anybody who comes out here, I think, is going to really enjoy it.
When you're here, you know, this is your job. This is your office, so to speak. When you get a chance to watch maybe it on replay on the broadcast and you see, again, those amazing shots, the paragliders, the golfers out here, what does that sort of like bring to your pride to know that you're part of this and the team that you have under you?
For me, it's amazing. It's great to be able to work at a golf course that is shown not only here in San Diego, but on a national basis. We've got people from all over the world that are going to be tuning in, and so when I see it on TV, it makes me really proud. It's great to see the work that our staff has been doing.
Now, for folks at home who are going to be coming out here, this is a huge piece of property. So what would be your best advice for someone who's maybe coming out here for the first time about how to watch the best golfers?
Yeah, coming out here for the first time, you're going to see some amazing views. So anywhere you go, you're going to have an ocean view to the golf course. They're great spots. Most people are going to be coming in on the south course, so making your way back to the clubhouse and then maybe out to the coast, I think those are great areas for anybody to hit up.
And then something that has, of course, been a discussion in the pro golf world right now has been what to do with the Genesis tournament. It's normally held at Riviera Country Club in the LA area. Since the wildfires has happened, that's going to be relocated. Torrey Pines has been named potentially here as maybe being named as that host site in 2 weeks. Would you guys be ready, and how would that sort of work?
Yeah, there has been a lot of discussion about where that potential tournament could go. At this time, there is no official word on that, but we are going to be prepared. We are a championship golf course. We have got a team that knows how to be able to prepare for these things. If asked, we will definitely be ready to handle that.
Okay. Yeah, no doubt, Torrey, definitely a gem here in all of the country, really, when it comes to golf and being able to host U.S. Open, obviously, as well, too. So you guys know that you guys can get it done. John, thank you so much, of course, for everything. Guys, Farmers kicks off today, tees off today, excuse me. It is still the NFL playoffs, so we're still using some of that
They separated
lingo
that.
there. But Eric, Netta, it's going to be a great time to come out here. What was that, Netta?
They separated that. They're not going to let golf and the NFL interfere with each other.
Some good planning there.
That's why we're doing Wednesday through Saturday, so everybody can have their cake and eat it too. But please come on out here to Torrey Pines for the Farmers Insurance Open, especially on Saturday. Could have an electric finish right here behind us when we have a new champion that could be crowned here. 18 always provides plenty of drama.
Nice.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And
Thank
like
you,
you said,
Chris.
each location has that ocean view. You can't say that at all the golf courses
Of
across the
course
country.
not. Yeah, we have such a special
right here.
gem, as Chris has been
That's
calling
right.
it. Thank you, Chris,
Thank
for
you, Chris. And you can catch live coverage of the Farmers Insurance Open Friday at 2 p.m. and Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on CBS 8. And then, of course, you know, Sunday, if you want to do some football, you can do that too. You can make a whole weekend of sports here.
We do have rain coming this weekend.
That's true.
So, of course, a lot of people are going to be wondering about that Saturday, how it'll impact golf.
The golfers are going to be seeing quite a different, way of doing things for today versus Saturday.
Sure.
Winds are going to be in the complete opposite direction by the time we get into Saturday. We're expecting onshore flow by Saturday, cloud cover, maybe even some showers going through the day. But for today, winds are still offshore, Santa Ana winds, and red flag warning stays in effect. This is now extended until 8 p.m. on Thursday, another day on it. You got our inland valleys and our mountains covered on it. So for just the sake of mentioning, Chris Grow is in a spot where they are not necessarily under a red flag warning. Still, though, it's a necessary thing to emphasize that countywide and really across the greater Southern California region, we all see that high fire danger. And even the coast is seeing those winds in the offshore direction right now. High wind watch is also in effect for just Thursday. After Thursday, we see the high wind watch and the red flag warning expire, and we have a bit more confidence by that time frame that we will actually see these expire and that expiration will last. That's because after Friday, we've got some changes that come in the form of rain that could allow for scattered showers, maybe even all the way up to about 1/4 of an inch to come down. By the time we get into about Thursday, Friday, we'll have better indication of what this will look like. Right now, it looks like Sunday is our best day for that rainfall. Today is actually a less breezy day than what we've had over the last several days. Wind gusts are only going to be between 20 and 30 miles per hour across the mountains. Sustained speeds between about the teens and maybe the low 20s out there, but winds are consistently out of the east. 10-day forecast does a good job of describing what we have on hand. Santa Ana winds keep our temperatures abnormally warm between now and Friday. And then as we get through the weekend and into the beginning of next week, those temperatures do start to drop. 50s are going to be much more likely as we get into Sunday, and that's likely to be our coldest, cloudiest, and likely best day for rain in the forecast before we start to see those temperatures rebound a bit by the beginning and middle of next week. Let's take a look at traffic and see how your roads are right now outside. Drive times are looking good on the 163 northbound, the 8 westbound. Coronado Bridge slowing down quite a bit. You're at 8 miles per hour. It's a 16-minute commute across the bridge from downtown to Coronado. Let's take a look at your border wait times right now. It's a 70-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry, a 60-minute wait at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry. Back to you.